Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds 1.0 or Pubg 1.0 on the GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. For FPS monitoring this time I won't be using cam since it's not currently working with this game due to BattleEye, which is the anti-cheat solution this game uses, so I'll be using MSI Afterburner instead. And if you want to support me, there are Humble and Amazon affiliate links down in the description as well. So PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds 1.0 or Pubg 1.0, I'll be doing 1080p, 900p, 720p and 1440p using both a G4560 and a Ryzen 3 1200 with a 3.9 GHz overclock. If you want to skip down at those sections of the video, check the description below. So first I'll show you the G4560 on 1080p and 720p with a 60 frames per second target. That means that I tweaked the game in order to maintain 50 to 60 FPS. Then I switched to the Ryzen 3 1200 with the 3.9 GHz overclock, and I'll show you 1080p, both 60 FPS and 30 FPS configuration. That means that I'll show you the tweak settings, and then I'll just crank up the settings, turn to over 30, and then I'll do the same for 900p and 720p, a 60 FPS target, then a 30 FPS target. But on 720p you will see that I first show you the ultra settings preset, except in textures, which will be on high instead of ultra, because if I go for ultra it uses more than 4 gigs of VRAM, so keep that in mind. But on 720p, if I just lower shadows from ultra to high, I get like a 20 FPS boost. So I suggest you do that if you will be playing at 720p. And I'm finally at 1440p. I wasn't able to get 60 frames per second even at the lower settings. I just got like 40 to 50 FPS. So I just show you my 30-ish FPS configuration, which means I crank up the settings as high as possible, trying to stay over the 30 frames per second. So yeah, now I'm going to talk to you about the options menu, the map I tested, the performance difference between CPUs, and the difference that I saw before 1.0 to now. The most demanding thing so far, like on the previous videos, is shadows. From ultra to high there's a huge performance difference. From high to medium there's also a difference, but it isn't as big of a difference compared to what you get from lowering from ultra to high, so keep that in mind. Now they look pretty similar, so I recommend lowering shadows first. Foliage and view distance weren't much of a hit, but if you want to get a small performance uplift, lower foliage. Post-processing and effects used to have a huge performance hit. Now post-processing seems to make the bigger difference. It seems to affect ambient occlusion as well, and I used to put effects on very low, since when you were in a red zone just surrounded by explosions, just being close by was a huge performance hit. Now it seems that they fixed that, so effects can be on medium or high just fine if you had it on very low in the past. But yeah, not much else to say about it. The game also seems to use a little less VRAM. So for textures I would set high for 3 or 4 GB GPUs. For 2 gig GPUs maybe low or medium. And for more than 4 GB of VRAM, use ultra. That should be fine. Unfortunately, I couldn't test the old map as much as this one, so I just tested this new map in this video. That's because it randomly selects the map. I cannot select it by myself, and the new map has a higher chance of just showing up randomly. That's because the developers just put that into the matchmaking, so you have a higher chance of getting into the new map. But I claim that they will soon add a map selector. When that happens, I'll probably make comparisons between the two maps, but it seems that the new map runs a little better. And overall, I saw that the Ryzen 3 1200 was very similar in performance to the G4560. I saw very similar frame times when you're just scavenging for stuff or in the middle of a village, or just running around. The parts when I mostly saw a difference was when there were other players just close to you, or you're just being shot or shooting someone. I saw more drops in the G4560 than on Ryzen 3. Ryzen 3 is instead a little more stable when you are in a battle or something. That was the biggest difference I saw between those CPUs. Overall, the performance is very similar on both of them, so you should have a good experience with any of those two CPUs. So yeah, it seems that they fixed the performance issues in the red zone or close to the red zone. The stutters that I had on the plane in the past are long gone. The lobby isn't as bad as it used to be. So yeah, overall it seems that it's running better than before. That's why I used a little higher settings compared with my previous videos on Pubg. But also remember that this map, it seems to be running a little better than the previous one. But I'll test that soon when they add the map selector. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.